I don't think they ever said the words anorexia until she started seeing a doctor in New York. And by that time, years had gone by and damage had been done to her, her body. She was pretty quiet about it. And she would wear sweatshirts over sweatshirts over sweatshirts, so you couldn't really tell how skinny she was. And she would eat, and I think she would go throw up. She was bulimic. And it was definitely a problem. But she was seeing a doctor in New York, and she was doing much, much better when she passed away. They didn't know about this disease, and she had gained too much weight back too quick, and it put a tremendous strain on her heart. I think her lack of control in the family, a lack of control on stage. Richard was the boss, her mom was the boss. I think she definitely felt, this is one thing I can control, and nobody can tell me what to do. If I don't want to eat, I'm not going to eat. So I think she did. I think that's part of this disease. And she looked in the mirror, and she was never thin enough. She always needed to be thinner. So we did talk about her weight loss and her eating. She would even bring up certain little facts, like she hadn't gone to the bathroom in 5 days, or she hasn't had a period in 6 months, those kinds of things. So, even though she would bring those things up, she didn't do much about what was really going on in her body. The way she ate, she wouldn't make it obvious that she wasn't eating. She would dabble and eat and stuff, but her eating disorder was not brought up very much. It was not discussed too much. I mean, people like Olivia Newton-John and people like that would say, what are you doing to your body, Petula Clark and stuff like that would say, what's going on with you, Karen? Your skin and bones, and you can die from this. But I don't think she ever really got it. Of course, it was a brand new disease in those days, so there wasn't a lot of, a paper trail where you could read about this stuff. But I don't think she took it as serious as, like you said, she didn't want to die, for sure. She was a young girl. She was 32 years old. I think going to New York was the good move for her, and she made good progress the year that she lived in New York. And, when she came back, she was ready to go again. She was, like I said, recording, and a summer tour was on the horizon, and I think she was in good spirits. Well, I don't think any of us thought that it was going to happen, that she was going to pass away. And like I said, she was seeing a specialist in New York, so we thought that at least she was on the right path to get this fixed. And it was a total surprise to me when I heard it on the radio that Karen Carpenter had passed away. I was at a television video store. All kinds of television screens were on, and breaking news came in. I was buying a stereo. Karen Carpenter found dead. And I couldn't believe it, to tell you the truth. It was on 5 different screens. And it was shocking. I'd just spoken to her a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, we knew what it was. Her body had just been deteriorated for so long. Of course, I didn't know the reason until later that she had heart failure and all that. But yeah, I mean, her body was eaten. Her organs were just eaten. I think about Karen all the time. Whenever especially at Christmas time, when you hear the Christmas albums going in the malls and stuff like that. I worked with Andy Williams for a long time, and I was Christmas shopping this year went into the mall, and Andy was singing The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Christmas song, and he finished, and then Karen came on, and I was just walking through the mall thinking, those two people are like legends, and I worked with both of them, and now they're gone. Both of them are dead. It's shocking to me. I talked to Andy Williams 6 weeks before he passed away. You know, I spent 9 years with him, and he was a great guy. And it's just sad that these people, of course, Andy was in his 70s, but Karen was much too young, 32 years old. She had her whole life in front of her. I often wonder what she would be doing now, what her voice would be like, and I truly loved her. She was a great person, and we had a really good relationship, and I miss her a lot.
What makes you happy right now as a single person? What really entertains Karen Carpenter or puts you on your high for a day?
I tell you one thing that I couldn't have said a year ago is being healthy again. When I got sick, it scared the hell out of me, man. I said, whoa.
You were down to the 90-pound weekly that day or so
right
much.
down to the old 89 pounds there. That made me stop and think. It really did. It made me, I enjoy what I do immensely. I love to sing. I love making records, performing. I'm having an enormous amount of good times. And most of all, I would like to have some more time to be just with my friends, you know. Because now if somebody calls up and say, hey, you want to go out? I say, yes, July 6th, it's free. Not this July 6th, next July 6th.
What Richard has done through the years now is kept this music alive by doing all these different things in Japan and all these albums and stuff. And I think he is content that they were as popular as they were for that period of time. You know, it just ran its course, I think. And I think he's very happy that he misses his sister, but I think he's happy with the way the music went and his time, you know. Voices like Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald and Tony Bennett and those kind of people, Karen Carpenter, are instantly recognizable on the radio. You don't have to go, who is that? No, you go, that's Karen Carpenter.